Shalom and welcome to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. This is Meditation and Mindfulness with Rabbi Adam Kligfeld.
Boker Tov, everyone. Good morning to those who are joining live here in Los Angeles, those who are on Zoom, and those who might be joining us live on Facebook. It should be morning most of the places where most of you are. I also want to say hello to those who are listening to this later on the Temple Beth Am podcast at whatever time it is for you when you are listening. After a few-week break back on a Friday morning, offering an opportunity for us to take care of self and to invest in self, to pull back into self, to see and hear self, ultimately in order to rejoin everyone and everything else slightly more full and slightly more human and slightly more aware of what it is that we want to get out of life today and every day. What I want to share as the frame for this week's meditation comes from a commentary on the scene where God recognizes that Sodom and Amorah, Sodom and Gomorrah, are doing bad stuff and need some divine attention, some divine retribution. But before God makes the decision, the Torah says, as he's having this interaction with Abraham, Erdana ve'er'eh. I will go down. Erda is from the root yored. I will descend and I will see. The descent is interesting in many, many religious traditions, including ours. There's both a sense that the divine is everywhere and also up. Right, so it makes sense for the Torah to say that God will descend, because we have this image that where is God? Up there in some supernal realm from which God could descend, right? And that doesn't contradict the notion of the ubiquity of God. There's also a directionality to the divine presence in our lives, in addition to it being everywhere. Rabbi Chaim of Volozhin, who was a late 19th century Lithuanian sage, not a Hasidic sage, a very anti-Hasidic sage, he says everywhere that the root yarad is connected to God, where God is descending to come down in order to give those whom God is descending to a chance to go up. It's a descent into our realm in order to offer an opportunity, an invitation for us in our realm to ascend to a higher realm. What does he mean by this in this situation? At this point in the story, God has not decided whether or not to overturn Sodom and Amorah. Erdana ve'er'eh. I'm going to come down and see. See what? See maybe if they'll change their ways. Maybe if they want to review how they are handling life and do it differently. Maybe they might do tshuva. What I want to extract from that for our meditation is that in some way, particularly those of us who are religious people who are also meditating, because you can also meditate completely beyond the realm of the religious, is that we're inviting a spiritual descent. We're inviting some aspect of the divine to kind of come down into us. Why? To see if we are ready to ascend. We are bringing the Holy One into us to see if, united with the Holy One, we might be able and willing to ascend and lift with the Holy One. So that is a slightly wordy opening to what I hope will be a less wordy but heady and beautiful meditative experience. With that in mind, I invite you to close your eyes. Close your eyes and start to take stock of this moment, becoming aware of your body's position that you moved into without even thinking about it. But now what you claim, you stake this position as very intentional. Start to become aware of your breathing, that automatic action that we've done every few seconds since we were born. Very few of those breaths done with the intentionality that it is indeed a wonder, a luxury, a tremendous blessing. Let's see if you can almost give an image, a shape to the feeling of wellness or tranquility that is coming upon you. Might take the shape of a blanket encircling you, a light penetrating you, a vitality coursing through you. See if you can picture it as if you had to animate it. And let go of all of the muscles that we are trained by our culture to hold tight. Just relax. Sink into this moment, which will not last forever, will not last an hour, will just be a few minutes where you can spread out your consciousness somehow at the same time that you are focusing your consciousness. This moment in which you are right here and everywhere. This moment in which you are right now and you are beyond time. This moment when we beckon the Holy One into this moment with us, into our bodies, in with each breath, a part of our spirits. This moment in which we can almost believe that we are semi-angels, a mortal human body in a dance with a divine emanation. I want you to imagine a descent. Sometimes when we meditate, I imagine that we are descending. As you orient your mind, because you have some control over your mind, imagine that you are very fixed. You are sitting where you are sitting, anchored to your chair, your feet anchored to the ground. You are present and poised. And imagine from above, taking whatever shape or form or image that makes sense. It can also be formless and shapeless. That supernal light, divine presence is coming down upon you, approaching you, warming you, illuminating you with a light sense of love and embrace, helping you see yourself as a child of God. Using your mind's eyes, see if you can watch the descent happen. See you and see this divine spirit coming upon you, touching you, becoming you. And just try to feel that fusion, that togetherness of body and soul, of human and divine, of material and spirit. And when you're ready, and in a few moments, I'll leave this to you in your mind. When you're ready, after imagining and focusing and embracing and enjoying this dance between you and this divine light, imagine you are ascending together. To where? To what? For what purpose? Your mind will tell you your own answers as you take this union and you lift and you rise to a greater plane, accepting the invitation from God who has descended to you, that you also ascend with God, soaring towards something that only you know is the destination. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And I'll pull up the meditation prayer. We'll say it together 3 times as we close this moment, and hopefully experience some benefit from it in ways that can be traced, in ways that we might never be able to trace, but doesn't mean they're not real. Say this 3 times. May we and all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. May we and all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. May we and all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. And may we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. I say to you all shalom and Shabbat shalom and namaste. It's so great to share this with you.
You have been listening to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. If you enjoy these podcasts, we invite you to write a review on the Apple Podcast site or wherever you get your podcasts. For more information about Temple Beth Am Los Angeles, go to tbala.org.